This video will be the first one in a series on how to coach yourself. I will go through what equipment you need, where to set it up, and I want it to be as cheap as possible for you, so you don't have to waste a lot of money. If you're new to this channel, my name is Patrik Broddfelt, a tennis coach in Norway. This first video will be about the forehand stroke, how you can set up the camera, and what software to use to analyze your stroke, what to look for when you analyze the stroke, and how you can correct it. As you probably can see, it's quite windy today, so I'm excited to see if this recording works at all. The clay is blowing everywhere, and yeah, oof. In today, most of the people have a phone with a camera, and this is a perfect tool to use. I believe you should record yourself, maybe not daily, but if you're working on something, record and see how your progress is going. And if I were you, I would pick up a small tripod like this, and you can just roll it out. And this tripod costs nothing. It's 10 bucks or something on Amazon. And it's easy to have in your tennis bag as well. So let me show you where to put it on the court and why you should put it there. So I would record 5 to 10 shots. I would put the tripod to the side here. So when you're on a side like this, you can see the contact point and other stuff I will show you later on. So put it to the side, record yourself 5 to 10 shots. Next, I will put it behind you, because here you can see the contact zone of the shot. You can see if it's too big of a take back, if you're late on preparation, and so on. So record yourself 5 to 10 shots from behind you. The last position I would put it at is in front of you, because then you can see the footwork patterns, and you can maybe see something else that you can't see on the side or behind you. But it's not necessary to have it in front of you, but I like to do it occasionally to see the footwork patterns. After you record yourself, your forehand stroke from the side, behind you, you want to start to analyze your forehand. So what should we look for? Well, I like to look at the contact point first to see if I am or my student is hitting in front of them here. If they are late, like hitting here, I will look and try to find out why. Because my student knows he's hitting late, so it won't help him if I tell him, hey, hit it in front of you. Sometimes it might work, but most of the time it's because it's something else in the stroke. For example, like now the camera is behind me, so if I have late preparation, my student will probably hit late as well. So if when the ball bounces, I can see that on this side here, if my student hasn't had a uniturn, a racket preparation, he'll be late. So I stop the video there, tell him that you need an earlier preparation, uniturn. And I might also use some tapping drills first to focus on that contact point. The next thing I will look at is if I have proper weight transfer. What I'm looking for then is when they make a contact, do they have the balance and that foot up? Because if they're not having a weight transfer, they might be hitting a little bit too late as well. So proper weight transfer, that's the second thing I look at. So when making contact, that back foot should show into the camera. The third thing I look at is the contact zone. So after they make contact here, I want that strings to follow the net of the ball, contact and follow and up. If I see this contact and the strings go this way, then it's a contact zone my student has to work on. And then lastly, I will look at the whole swing. If they are taking racket back like this, or the racket goes behind them, I can see that from behind. I can also see it in front if a racket is showing on the other side. Then I will work on some drills on how to shortening the swing. And of course, I will look at the grip. If it's correct, I might change that before, but most of the times I don't touch the grip. Except if it's really bad grip, but otherwise I don't touch it. And another thing you can see from behind here is there's spacing to the ball. It's easier to see. And same if you have a camera in front of you, you can see the spacing as well. From the side, again, I will look into the uniturn. How this elbow is leading, if the non-dominant hand is taking back a racket and the strings are pointing a little bit down, or if behind them. But those changes I talked about lately here is picky changes. I would check the contact point, contact zone, weight transfer. That's the first three things I want to fix before I touch anything else almost. Sometimes I have to correct the starting to get the right contact point. But most of the times I just focus on contact point, weight transfer, and contact zone. That's how you get control on the ball. And you will have fun playing tennis. When you get up to a higher level, it will be nitty-picky things you practice on. After you have analyzed your video, I want you to pick one thing you want to work on. Write it down. If it's a contact point, write it down. So that's your goal for the month, half year, or the week, depending on how fast you can solve this. So that's why I want you to record yourself once every third day, weekly, to see if you have made any progress. When you think it's perfect, that's when you want to start to playing a match, a set. So the tip is to have a notebook or write it down on your phone and just practice on that one thing. Don't go, oh, I need to practice on my backhand and on my serve. Of course, you want to practice on all those strokes as well, but I don't want you to have focus on those shots. I want you to focus every time you step onto the court to have that contact point, or have that weight transfer, or have that contact zone. Especially in the beginning, when you're playing mini tennis in the service box. Perfect time to practice on those skills. When you're moving back, just rallying back and forth. Work on that. Another thing I like to incorporate is visualization. I believe that's a really powerful tool to use. Sit down. When you wake up, close your eyes. See yourself making contact or someone else in front of you them or you. You can do it during the day, right before practice, before you go to sleep. You don't have to do it 1 hour. It's enough with a couple of minutes, 1 minute, just seeing yourself making contact. Sometimes it helps to have your racket in your hand when you're doing this. And you can shadow the strokes and see and feel how it feels. By visualization, it's a really powerful tool. There's a lot of studies showing that you can become much better, even though you're not practicing the skill, but just seeing yourself doing something, you'll be as good as someone practicing hitting 100 balls each day. So if you practice on that contact point on the court, and off court you're practicing seeing yourself doing it, it'll be a faster progress. What you also can do is standing in front of a mirror, and then you can shadow your strokes. You can see yourself in a reflection on what you're doing. Then you can do like 20 strokes and see yourself in that mirror. That's another powerful tool. So for example, you watch this video on YouTube and you like my forehand and you want to look it like it. What you will do then is studying me on YouTube, and then you go in front of a mirror and trying to do the same thing. Hopefully it's Sinner or someone else's forehand you want to copy. So watch them on YouTube or something, and then you try to do the same thing in front of a mirror. Lots of repetitions to get that memorized into a muscle. When you think you're ready, that's the time to play a match or a set. It doesn't have to be in a competitive league or in a tournament. You can have a practice set against your friend. What you want to do then is record yourself. You can use an app like Swingvision. I use that a lot for my students. And then I can analyze the stroke. But make sure you don't look at all the other strokes and like, oh, my backhand is bad, or my serve is da-da-da. Just focus on that thing you were working at. And the great thing about Swingvision is a heat map. You can see where ball lands. You can select only forehands and watch all the forehands you hit in that set or match. Where are you the strongest, or where are you weakest? It might be a high ball back here. You're missing that ball the whole time. Or it might be a short ball, attacking ball that's high up, or low balls. It's so easy to find out on the Swingvision. And then you can go back to your drawing board and take a note of that and start to practicing. But make sure you have finished your goal first to have a contact point in front of you. When you're recording a match, you want a stick or something you can put high up on the fence, and then you can record yourself. You don't want it to be down here because it looks awkward. So you want it to be high up. You can also get a high tripod. That works as well. I had to move indoors. It was too windy outside and my camera into the ground. Hopefully it didn't break. It didn't look like it. Luckily it was clay I was filming on and not hardcourt. That might have been another story. If you want to learn tennis, it doesn't have to be expensive. Use your camera on your phone and get a cheap tripod. Record yourself from different angles. Analyze your stroke and write down your goal for the month. And then you record yourself again to see if you have mastered that correction. Record yourself playing a match or set as well to see if you still can manage the whole match to have a correct contact point or early preparation, or whatever it is you're working on. That's how you become better. Write down your goals. Don't just go out and practice. I have so many customers that comes into me and have a private lesson. And then I see them next time on the evening lesson with class, and they forget everything about that private lesson and just hitting strokes. Ask them, what will we practice on? So it's important to be focused every time. Don't waste your money. Until then, I'll see you next time.